Hi, welcome to this quick shoulder strength and mobility class. All you need today is just a strap or a small towel, like a tea towel, something you can hold on to either end. Even a belt, like a belt for your trousers would work as well. So we're going to start standing, and I want you to bring your palms to face forward. So first, just reach down toward the floor with your fingertips so you feel your shoulders pulling down away from your ears. So you might feel a stretch come through the top of the shoulders. You might feel a bit of activation underneath your armpits. This is just your shoulder blades depressing, so they're pulling down. So now, keeping the palms facing forward, you're going to reach your fingertips forward like you're offering something to someone, but really reach forward like you're trying to reach them, but you're not allowed to move your body forward. So keep your body upright, but reach your arms right forward so you feel your shoulder blades starting to pull apart. Good. And then we're going to keep those palms facing the same way and reach the arms overhead. So this one's a little trickier. It's not the most comfortable position. So don't worry if it feels awful for you. It feels awful for me as well. But we're going to reach them up toward the ceiling with those palms facing back behind you, and you'll feel a bit of work through the top of the shoulder. Good. Take a big breath in here. And then exhale, circle the arms wide and down. Good, we're going to do that again a little bit quicker. So palms face forward, reach down toward the floor. Reach forward and pull the shoulder blades apart. And then reach all the way up, reaching toward the ceiling. And then arms circle wide. Good, 2 more times. Reach down, reach forward, reach up, and then circle down. Last one, reach down, reach forward, reach up, and circle down. Now we're going to keep the palms facing forward when the arms come up, and reach your fingertips toward the ceiling, like you're trying to touch the ceiling. If you want to make it a little bit harder, flip the palms so that it's like you're trying to hold the ceiling up. And we're going to be pushing up, drawing the shoulder blades, drawing the shoulders up toward the ears. Take a deep breath in. Keep the arms there, but then exhale, relax the neck muscles. Good. Again, inhale, reach up, squeeze the shoulders. Exhale, relax the neck muscles, letting those shoulders soften. So we're not pulling the shoulders down, we're just letting the shoulders soften away from the ears, but they're still up. Okay, let's do it one more time. Inhale, reach. And exhale, letting them soften. Let's take this into a forward fold. So just bring the arms wide and hinging at the hips to come into a forward fold, letting the head relax down. Come to the front of your mat if you're not already there. This is a nice chance just to shake out the head, the neck, release the legs by bending one knee, then the other. Just take a couple of breaths here. Good. Then let's walk ourselves back into all fours, so coming down onto our hands and knees. So now we're going to come into some scapular presses. So first we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, so our chest will lower toward the floor, but the arms are going to stay straight. Then we push the floor away through the hands, pulling the shoulder blades apart. Good, and then again, we squeeze the shoulder blades together, keeping those arms straight, and then push the floor away. The back doesn't move here, the back stays straight. 2 more times, squeeze, and then lift. Last one, squeeze, and then lift. Good. To come to something that feels like it's halfway, and we'll move that into our cat-cow. So as you squeeze the shoulder blades together, we're going to extend through the spine. So lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, so you're in a back bend, breathing in here. Then exhale, tuck the tailbone, push the floor away, spread the shoulder blades apart, scooping through the belly. And again, inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, looking forward, lifting the tailbone. Then exhale, rounding through the spine, pulling the shoulder blades apart, scooping through the belly. One more of each. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. and exhale. Good, let's now come onto our forearms. So you can have your fingers interlaced or your hands flat. I find hands flat is a little bit harder, so if you want to challenge yourself, have your hands flat. If you need a bit more support, interlace your fingers. And we're going to come into our forearm plank. So we're just going to hold this here, just bringing a little bit more strength into the shoulders. So get the feeling of pushing the floor away through the forearms and draw the elbows back toward the feet towards the elbows to get that feeling of co-contraction through your core. So we don't want to be pulling the forearms and the feet apart. We want to be drawing them towards each other, or at least the feeling of. Good. Staying here for another couple of breaths. Keep that belly pulled in. Good, then knees down, lower yourself all the way to the floor. The arms are now going to reach behind you, palms facing down. We'll come into a few locust lifts here. So inhale, reach the arms back and lift the arms and the legs together. And exhale, come all the way back down. Good, 2 more like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. 1 more, inhale, lift. Exhale down. Good. For this last one, this next one, we're going to come up into our locust. Then we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back and pull the arms away from our bum and reach them back toward the heels. Staying here for 1 more inhale. And then exhaling, coming all the way out, placing the hands on the floor and setting ourselves back into our child's pose. So hips back to the heels, walk your arms forward and stretch out through your spine. So taking some deep breaths into the ribs, into the back. If your arms feel a little bit tired already, you can bring the arms down by your side. Okay, coming up from your child's pose now, we'll come into a seated position quickly. Now you can be seated with your legs crossed, and your arms are going to be down by your side, pressing the palms into the floor. This one's a little tricky, but even if you just get the intention of this, it's good enough, okay? What you're going to do is push your hands into the floor to get a feeling of lifting your body up off the floor. So the idea is that your shoulders pull down to lift your body up. So you may just get the feeling of pushing, or you may be able to scoop a little through your belly and lift your hips off the floor. Good, just do that a few times. Don't worry about how high you get or how much you can push. The idea is that you get the idea that your shoulders also have an action where they push down, okay? They're not just for lifting and pushing forward and back. They also can depress and push down. Good, let's do 2 more lifts. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good, come forward over your feet, straight into a downward dog. And take a few breaths here in your downward dog, stretching out the legs. Maybe you want to pedal through the heels, just to find a little space in the calves, the hamstrings, lengthening the spine. Good. Take 1 more breath in here. And on your exhale, bring the right foot through in between the hands to come into warrior 1. So you're grounding through that back heel. That back foot is at a 45-degree angle facing forward. And we're going to interlace our fingers behind our back. We'll pull the arms away. Take a deep breath in. Then exhale, fold forward into your humble warrior. For this one, we're going to keep the heels of the hands apart. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can close the heels of the hands together or keep them apart. But for this one, it's going to stay apart, okay? So we're just finding our balance here in this humble warrior, trying to reach those arms as far up and overhead as possible. So as far away from the back as possible. Good, one more deep inhale here. Exhale, release the hands and bring them down by either side of that right foot and step back into a plank position. Take a deep breath in plank. Then exhale, lower yourself to the floor, down onto your belly. We're going to bring the arms down by our sides once again for a locust lift. This time we're going to come up onto our finger pads, so it's like spider hands or cupcake hands. Keep our gaze down toward the floor. And as we inhale, we're going to lift everything up and lift the arms and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good, exhale, release down. Inhale, lift and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale down. Good, last one. Keep looking down at the floor as you lift and squeeze those shoulders. And exhale down. Good, place the hands down underneath your shoulders. Push up and back into your downward dog. Couple of deep breaths in downward dog. Always take a child's pose instead of downward dog if you feel tired. That's absolutely fine. Child's pose is for free. You can take it whenever you need to. One more deep breath in here. And on your exhale, we'll place the left foot forward in between the hands to come into warrior one on the left leg. We're going to take the hands into an interlaced finger position here. This time, the heels of the hands are going to be together. So last time they were apart, this time they're together. It feels a little more opening through the front of the shoulders. So take a deep breath in, then exhale, humble warrior, arms reach overhead, keeping the heels of the hands together. So just maybe noticing the difference between the two, between heels of hands apart and together now. Still trying to reach those arms as far away from your back as possible. Breathing deeply, gaze down towards your back foot. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, release the hands down either side of that left foot, step back to plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, come all the way down to your belly. This time we're going to take the hands wide into a T shape. Again, cupcake or spider hand, so on the finger pads of our fingers, finger pads of the fingers, you know what I mean? Keep looking down towards the floor. And then as you inhale, we're going to lift everything up and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Arms stay wide. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. One more, inhale. And exhale, bring the hands down underneath the shoulders and push back into your downward dog or child's pose if you need one. Couple of breaths in downward dog here. So this is just a nice chance to pay a bit of attention to the legs. Even though it's a shoulder class, sometimes it's also good to just be aware of the whole body, so we're not always highlighting the shoulders. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bring the right foot forward in between the hands, back to warrior one on the right leg. This time we're going to come into our eagle arms. So the right elbow is going to come on top of the left elbow. So I'll just show you in the camera. So right elbow on top of left elbow, and then you're going to wrap your forearms so that the left fingers are in the palm of the right hand, okay? If you can't do that, you're going to take a strap, right elbow on top of left elbow, and then you're holding onto the strap, okay? So, right elbow on top of left elbow, take a breath in. Exhale, humble warrior with arms in eagle. Inhale, come all the way back up. Maybe a little back bend. Exhale, come all the way back down. Good, keep going with this flow. This is a little balance test as well. If you want to feel a little bit more through your shoulders, then you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together whilst your arms are in this position. Good. Last one coming down. And then we come all the way up. Unravel your arms and reach your arms overhead. And just enjoy the feeling of having straight arms. Maybe your shoulders feel a little more comfortable being overhead here. Maybe not, it doesn't matter. You're still doing the work. It still works one day, whether it's now or tomorrow or next month. Good, one deep breath in. Then exhale, bring the hands down and step back to plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, lower down to the floor. And then our last locust variation here. Arms come a little bit wider than our shoulders up ahead of us. And we turn the palms to face up. Again, not a nice or easy position to be in, but very strengthening for the shoulders. So keep your gaze down. As you inhale, you're going to lift up through those arms and legs. Exhale, come back down. Good, inhale, lift up. Make sure those palms are still facing the ceiling. Exhale, down. Good, inhale, feel those shoulders squeeze as you lift. Come back down. Last one, inhale. And exhale, hands down underneath the shoulders, push back to downward dog. Taking one more inhale here. On your exhale, bring the left foot forward, warrior one on the left leg, and eagle arms on the other side. So this time it's the left elbow on top of the right. Wrap your forearms so that your palms meet. We inhale, reach up toward the ceiling. Exhale, fold forward into humble warrior, keeping our balance. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, come down. Good, keep going with this flow. Squeeze those shoulder blades together to feel a little more sensation through the shoulders if you want. And remember, you don't need to do your back bend here if you don't want to. You can just come up to straight and then dive down. Good, last one. And then finishing back to upright, release the arms, reach your arms overhead. Enjoy the feeling of straight arms, nice strong warrior. Deep breath in, then exhale, hands down, and step back to plank. Inhale in plank, and then exhale, come down to forearm plank. One more forearm plank here. Some deep breaths. To add on, if you want to, we can come into our forearm press. So we're going to lower the shoulders toward the hands and then come back up to neutral. So lower the shoulders toward the hands and press back up. Good, 2 more times. Good, and then knees down, and then sit yourself back into your child's pose. You can reach your arms down behind you if you want to. It's a little bit more comfortable for the arms after they've been working so much overhead. Good, and then rolling all the way up to seated. We're going to stay in a kneeling position. This is where you're going to grab your strap or your towel, and we're going to come into our cow face arms. So we'll take the strap with the right arm first, up overhead. So you're hanging the strap down behind you. And then you're going to reach back to hold onto the strap with your left hand. And you're going to walk your hands towards each other so that the strap or the distance between your hands gets shorter because you're holding onto the strap behind you. Good, so this is just a nice stretch. It can feel quite intense sometimes. If there's any pain, back off. It should just feel like a shoulder opener. So through the right tricep and left deltoid, so the front of the left shoulder. If you want to work a little more actively, you're going to try to pull the arms away from the back so that your hands aren't touching the back. But you may need to separate your hands a little bit more to do that. Good, couple more deep breaths here. Maybe if you're just in a passive stretch, you can start to walk your hands a little closer together. Good. And then release. We'll come to the other side. So now we'll take the strap in the left arm overhead, reach back, grab onto it behind you with the right arm, and then walk the hands together. You may find that one side, you might not need the strap. That's fine. If you can bind, then that's great. Otherwise, sometimes it is just nice to have the strap to really sink into the stretch rather than reaching and pulling. So when you're trying to stretch and open the body, you don't want to add too much tension because then the muscles start to grip on to rescue themselves. They don't want to be injured. So if you can support the stretch with a prop, it's always a nice idea. Couple more breaths here. If you're passive, walk the hands maybe a little closer. If you're being active and pulling the arms away from the spine, then you can keep doing that. Good. Last breath. Good. And then releasing. Just put the strap to the side. We're now going to come onto our back. You'll bend your knees so your feet are flat and your arms are down by your side. So for this one, I want you to press your spine into the floor. So you're going to be tucking the tailbone and pressing the lower back down. So you'll feel a bit of an abdominal contraction here. So you should feel that the back of your ribs and your lower back are pressing into the floor. Keep that feeling. Take a breath in. Then exhale, reach the arms all the way overhead, keeping the back on the floor. Inhale, lower the arms down, so palms are facing down toward the floor. Then exhale, reach the arms all the way overhead. They may not touch the floor without you lifting your rib cage up, so don't try to get them to touch the floor if that means that your rib cage and your spine lifts, okay? I want you to keep your torso grounded as those arms reach overhead. Good, just keep going a few more times. Just find your own flow with your breath. Exhale to pull your belly in. Press the back into the floor as your arms reach. And inhale, coming back. One more like this. Good, adding on here, we're going to exhale, reach the arms overhead. Then inhale, cactus the arms down. Then inhale, reach the arms back. So exhale, reach the arms back up overhead. Then inhale, release them back down to the floor. So exhale, arms reach overhead. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together to cactus the arms down by your side. Exhale, reach the arms overhead again. Inhale, bringing the arms down. Good, 2 more times. Exhale, overhead, press that back into the floor. Inhale, cactus the arms. Doesn't matter if they're touching the ground or not. Exhale, reach the arms overhead. Inhale, coming down. Last one. Exhale, overhead. Inhale, cactus. Exhale, reach. Inhale, bringing them down. Good. Let's bring those knees into the chest, giving them a little hug. Now keep those knees tucked in toward the chest and reach the arms wide in a T shape with the palms facing up. You're going to take the knees over to the right into a spinal twist. You're going to turn your head to look towards your left hand. You can take your right hand on top of your left knee or to the side of your left knee if that helps you get a bit of a deeper twist, if that feels good in your spine. But I want you to make sure that your left shoulder stays on the floor, okay? So that you're not letting your left shoulder peel up off the ground in this twist. You're keeping it grounded so that you feel an opening through your pec, the front of your chest. One more deep breath in here. And then exhale, releasing the knees back to center. You might need to wiggle yourself straight. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring those knees over to the left, turning the head to the right, keeping the back of the right shoulder on the floor, maybe using that left hand to ground the knees a little further into the twist. But the main aim is that you just feel the gentle opening through the front of that right shoulder, whilst enjoying a nice spinal twist. Breathing deep into the belly. Good. Releasing the legs, bringing them back up to center. One more hug in, maybe rounding yourself all the way up, forehead to knees. Create yourself into a little ball. Good, and then whilst you're in this little ball, tighten everything. So squeeze, 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 squeeze. Tighten your toes, your fingers, your calves, your arms, your thighs, your belly, your face. And then release everything. And then bring yourself down into a quick shavasana. So arms and legs long, closing the eyes. Taking a few deep breaths. Just feeling everything soften in the body. Noticing how the shoulders feel. Letting them sink heavy into the ground. The fronts of the shoulders open, the collarbones soft and open and wide. Feeling your breath go all the way down to your belly. Just a few more deep breaths here. So stay longer if you can. If you need to get on with your day or with your evening, you're just going to roll over to your right side, press yourself up to a seated position. Take a second to readjust to being upright. And you're all done. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.